Joining me are Michael Kroger, former Victorian Liberal President, and Michael Danby, former federal Labor politician and chairman of the Joint Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade. Michael Danby, Angus Taylor has been given a policy recommending a restriction on immigration from areas in 13 countries where Muslim extremists dominate. Is that a good idea?
Well, it's very focused. It's on not bans on entire countries. It's bans on areas from those countries where there is Islamist extremism. So I think it's going to be very hard to argue against. I think it's been floated in order to see what kind of a reaction it would get. And I think after Bondi, it's going to be harder to argue against, particularly when Sir Keir Starmer's pushing the same kind of policies.
Michael Danby said this was leaked just as a sort of trial balloon. Is that how you see it? Why do you think it was leaked, Michael Kroger, and do you think it's a good idea?
I'm not sure why, but it's certainly going to help Angus Taylor. 70 to 75% of the country would agree with that policy. The rest, you've got the extreme left and those that, it's too complex for them. But overwhelmingly, what's the coalition saying? People that come from Islamic terrorist parts of the world shouldn't be allowed into Australia. Why would that be controversial, Andrew, in the slightest? So let's just hope the policy is approved and released imminently, because we've got a by-election down here, a state by-election. There's a federal by-election in New South Wales coming up, as we know. And the principal reason for One Nation's rise from 6 to 28% is because the average Australian out there is seeing what's happening around the world, is seeing what's happening in Western countries. I've heard snippets of speeches by Marco Rubio and now understand that Western civilisation is under threat unless you stand up against Islamist extremism. And that's why an overwhelming majority of Australians would support this policy, and let's hope Angus releases it sooner.
Well, I'm not sure that it was one that he wanted leaked today, because he could barely mention Islam yesterday. Today it's all about Islam on the date he was giving his big economic speech. So I'm not 100% sure about that. That said, Michael Danby, Taylor's start so far, what do you make of it?
I'm yet to be convinced. You wish all people who are starting off in politics well. But I would have gone for Hastie, but I'm not a Liberal, and I'm not choosing who their leader is. So he has a lot of meat to put on the bone. He's got a big problem with that by-election that's going to take place in Farrer. One Nation and the Independent is off and running, and with Susan Ley, the incumbent, not being the candidate, he could lose. And what would happen if that's the first by-election of his leadership and he loses it? It would be really a bad sign for him.